In a world where our society grapples with adversity, youth unemployment and school dropouts are pervasive. Schools are overwhelmed. Violence scars our communities, and crumbling infrastructure perpetuates intergenerational poverty. Change isn't just a wish, it's an urgent necessity. But who will step up to lead this change? Who will be the driving force? Allow us to introduce Columba leadership, the catalyst for transformation. We believe that Africa's destiny cannot rely on an established hierarchy and authority. It will be fulfilled by networks of ethical leaders, social entrepreneurs, creative innovators, and skilled artisans, with the capacity to form agile teams and the autonomy to create a different future. A greater human destiny in a world of opportunity. This is the reality unfolding before us. Our leaders are at the forefront, driving us towards a brighter future for everyone. Our purpose is awakening the leader within to change lives and their communities. Our vision is to ignite a movement for meaningful change in South African communities, which is driven by a network of values-based leaders. Leaders change futures.
Hi, I'm Konaye Zaza, a grade 11 learner from Insebenzi Senior Secondary School in Cape Town, Philippi. I'm also a Colombo graduate. In our project, we first had to identify the challenge that we are facing in the community. So we identified that in our community, we have a challenge that young leaders do not really know how to read. So we decided that, okay, we're going to donate books, and then after donating the books, we're going to teach the leaders how to read. And then we hope to see that with us teaching the young leaders how to read, we hope to see that in the next coming years, seeing them being able to read, being able to explain whatever they have read to others, and also that improves their communication skills, because if you know how to read, you can be able to communicate with others. We first teach them about the cover page, what do they see, and what do they think the story is going to be about. After we have read, we start asking questions to make sure that they were listening and they were also focusing on the story that we have read. When we ask the questions, we notice that they start to develop understanding. So I think it was very important for us to read as well as ask questions to check for understanding. When we first went to the creatures, we went there and then we told them about our story. We told them about our vision for our community, and then we explained to them what is it that we are doing this for, what is it that we are hoping to see in the near future by doing this. And then they started to like the ideas that we came with. They started liking the vision, and then we were like, okay, let's work together and try to groom these young leaders to be leaders of tomorrow. Let's try to groom these young leaders to be leaders that are going to lead Philippi to be a better place.
Good day everyone, my name is James Jaloza. I'm the Environmental Councillor of Rhodes University, and here today we are doing a river cleanup. These are my environmental reps, and I also have some members of the community that are joining us. So yeah, welcome to my river cleanup. As someone that is an environmentalist, what made me to come here and the inspiration behind having all these projects is because, one, rivers are the main contributors of plastics that end up in the oceans. And if we want to bring that change, I feel like we should start here. And that is the reason why doing the river cleanup, not an ocean cleanup, because these are the main contributors to the debt that end up in the oceans. Since we are in a small town that is inland, and we see no need to do this, but I want to be the driver of change to make sure that people are changing their mindset in terms of thinking that these river cleanups are only for major cities, while we have rivers that are dirty and people are getting diseases, kids are getting ill from all the death that is there. So I feel like that is the reason why I'm doing this. We from the roads institution, but we are here in the community to make sure that our community is well taken care of. We just want them to see, because I believe that as an action-based leader, you need to take charge and then let people to see what you're doing, and then they'll end up joining it. I'm working with a very passionate team, which are my environmental reps. I know that they know their portfolio, they know what their portfolio entails, and they want to be the drivers of change to make sure that the society is clean. Even if we from Rhodes University, we came here to ensure that this community, the river is clean. And yeah, I would say that I'm working with passionate people. They know their role as environmental stewards, and we want to bring that change. We want people to join, because I feel like the topic of environment in general, people they are inconsiderate of it. They don't want to take part because they feel like the nature will heal itself. But what I can say is that we are the problem, so we need to take charge and bring the change. We are changing the conversation around conservation.
They were told they were too young, too disadvantaged, too far from opportunity. But Columba leadership saw something different: potential, purpose, and direction. Today, they are not just learners, they are authors, business owners, national champions, community leaders. This is the change you're about to witness.
And yes, I do have my own organization. I got the idea of starting an after-school program whereas I can help the kids in the community.
And officially this year, I became an official young author, and I published a story in this book.
Well, my name is Faith, and I'm a deputy president here at THOTAGAUTA Secondary School.
So my vision is to create a school environment whereby we have the mentorship, programs, we have the diversity and inclusion workshops, and also the student-led project whereby that promotes social responsibility and community involvement and all those kind of projects like that.
I will be a change maker. And then Columba came, and then I had that change. I felt the change in me.
It also helped me boost my confidence and being able to talk in front of big crowds.
I am a leader and I make a difference.
My name is VULUMZI Mavoya. I'm the president of the school.
I would also love to say in every pageant that I got, I never lost the title because of the confidence that I had and the leadership style that I've applied that came from Columba.
I was struggling with my academics, but the Columba leaders, they came through to say, you know what, we're gonna teach you how to focus.
I got a chance to actually be a part of studio recording sessions where I recorded my very first song that was a STEM song. And a month ago, I recorded my very first music video, STEM music video, in this very library.
Now, I was top 5 of physics this year.
With my garden, I started a spinach business that helped me.
2023, I got recognized by the Mayor of City of Cape Town, Jordan H. Lewis, for the Civic Awards.
I attended the Leadership Academy last year at Letsatsi Game Lodge, and that is where I got the motivation to write this book during a book launch. It will be part of my leadership credits, whereby I will now be recognized as the young author amongst them all.
I was part of the debate team, and I'm also the reigning champion of the spelling bee. So standing ovation, yes. Thank you.
Wow, was that not just amazing, looking at what young people are able to achieve when they actually do what they can do in the areas and the communities that they are. They naturally blossom in the beautiful things they do. But today we have this beautiful panel of young leaders, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, which school they are from, and something interesting about yourself. Can we start on this side?
Hi, my name is Godliness. I am a grade 12 learner and a Columba leader from BALOYI Secondary School based in Winterveld. And something interesting about me is that I am a young author and recording artist.
Wow, a young author and recording artist. STEM song as we saw in the video, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Hi, I'm Kaidamani and I'm grade 12 from EXCELSIOR Secondary School based in Cape Town, Western Cape. Something interesting about myself is that I am a teen founder and program coordinator of an after-school program, and also I am passionate about child's rights and education.
Wow, Karamandi has his own organization and he sees up to 40 young people at times, right? Beautiful.
Hi, my name is Esana Kramer. I'm also a grade 12 learner at VULUMZI Senior Secondary School based in the Eastern Cape. Something interesting about me is that I like reading. I am the reigning champion at debate in my school, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Beautiful. I think we should start the debate right here, right? Over to you.
Greetings with the fundamental words that are greatly used by you, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, please consider yourselves greeted. My name is Asanda Dingila. I'm a grade 12 learner at SITHENGILE Secondary School, located in KZN. I'm also a well-trained Colamba leader who was trained to lead with awareness, focusing on the needs of others, fostering creativity in my team, and understanding that leadership is all about perseverance, in fostering integrity, and also understanding that it's also about serving those who you lead. Thank you.
Beautiful. What I like is you added that you foster creativity. And we're going to hear about all of your projects and how creative you guys have been in addressing poverty. Right. Over to you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Gebetso Masonyani. I'm from Velcom. My school is THOTAGAUTA Secondary School. I'm a grade 11 learner. Something interesting about me is that I'm a debater and a public speaker. Also, the thing about me is that I tend to do things without expecting something in return. Thank you.
Wow. And that's leadership. We do something without expecting anything in return. So we have a debate champion. We have all of these beautiful young people doing beautiful things. But we're more excited about hearing what you guys did in your schools, your communities, and at large. Eso, can we start with you?
Okay. Welcome to VULUMZI Senior Secondary School. My name is Esena Kramer and I'm a grade 11 learner here at VULUMZI. And I'm also a Colamba leadership leader here at VULUMZI Senior Secondary School. And we have done a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. From broken windows that are now fixed to we usually had chalkboards, but they were very unconventional. So now we have whiteboards. The floors, we have some new floors. And the chairs, we used to have orange steel chairs that the learners would bend in weird angles and they would no longer be usable. Now we have black plastic chairs.
And now there was a new culture, that is value-driven culture, and then result-oriented learners being involved.
With the garden, it's going to help our school with food. It's actually going to improve the environment.
We came up with ideas for tires, fertilizers, seeds. Our main goal for the garden that we now have was to have greenhouses, which we now have proudly accomplished.
I share some of the seedlings with the learners so that they can develop their own gardens at home. This helps me to be able to produce young entrepreneurs and responsible individuals.
With my garden, I started a spinach business that helped me. I was able to help my community to start their own gardens. This is my garden. This is my safe space. So when I have academic stress and I feel heavy inside, I just come here. So I heard about Colamba last year through Miss Nogaka. So I did not know Colamba before, but I saw leaders presenting in assemblies and class to class about bullying and substance abuse. And then I got interested in joining.
They created a dramas club, which is taught by one of our own teachers here, Miss Nessie. She teaches a drama club to grade 8s and 9s. So how we raise funds for all of these projects, we raise funds in a lot of ways. And many of those ways included the money from the recycling. We would recycle, and then the money that we would get, it would come on to Colamba to help with the projects that we had.
So you guys started a garden, and what became a garden in your school became a garden in Douglasdale, which is another school.
Yes.
It also spread out into the community where you guys did a lot of market days selling your produce from your garden. And it went into young people's homes,
yes,
where it became businesses, where young people started selling the crops there. So I would like to know, why is a garden important for your school?
Well, let me first start by saying that at the beginning, VULUMZI did not have a very stable garden. But as time went, we as the leaders developed the need to have a garden because the food security at VULUMZI was not the very best. And we also knew that by developing a garden, we could have a generating income of money, help the food security at our school, and build entrepreneurship in the young leaders' mind, as well as give back to the community by selling whatever it is that we grew in our garden. So I do believe that having that in our school is very important because we get to inspire other people and we get to nourish what is ours.
And what I love about this project is what was just intended to be a garden has become a practical space
for
educators actually to do their teaching in those gardens. And
Yes.
that's beautiful for me. But you spoke something beautiful about fundraising, right? And I think it's an environmental aspect when we think about gardening. But you also have a recycling project, right?
Yes,
Tell us a
we
bit
do.
about that recycling project, how you use it for funding and all of that. Thank you.
Now, our Recycle Per project at first wasn't really a main goal. It was just a sub project that we developed under gardening because we noticed that the environment in which we wanted to build our garden in wasn't the very best. So we knew that we had to do something about that first. And the soil wasn't very fertile to plant in. So we did need tires, which that's also reusing. We asked for tires. And then the recyclable things is we picked bottles and plastics and papers so that the environment that we're going to grow our garden in is clean. And then from there on, we sold those to some companies and they gave us money in return, which went to the Kalamba leaders' pocket, not the school, in which it helps us with our projects, which we'll get into more.
Okay, beautiful. And I think some of those projects were things like window repair, right?
Yes, infrastructure.
Chairs,
Yes,
all of this. So there was chairs, ceilings, windows. You guys repaired all of these things in your school.
Yes.
So why was it important to do this infrastructure projects?
Now, I do believe that in order to have great results as a school, you do need a safe learning space for kids. And having an improper infrastructure is not a great learning space for kids because we would be sitting in class, it would be raining outside, and we would have rain on us because we do not have proper windows. So that became a main goal that we became focused on because we wanted to be able to learn properly without any distractions because the tables were also falling apart. The chairs were being bended in weird angles whereby we would be sitting very low. So we decided that we have to put a stop to that. We have to create an environment for ourselves whereby we have a better learning space and we can excel. So we did the infrastructure project by raising the money and fixing it.
You started with, we wanted to create a safe environment.
Yes.
And I know that there was quite a lot of young people that started joining your projects because they heard about anti-bullying and substance abuse campaigns from you guys.
Yes.
And so tell me a bit about why it is important for you to create a safe space in the school with those projects.
Now, in schools that are in the township, it is very common for learners to use and abuse substances and be prone to bullying. And in my school, the teachers noticed that it's a very serious problem in the learners. So we as Kalamba leaders decided to take it upon ourselves to raise awarenesses, to do campaigns whereby we protest against bullying. We did assembly awarenesses, we did class-to-class awarenesses, whereby we told learners of different types of bullying because we noticed that the learners actually think that bullying is just physical bullying and that's it. So we made sure to aware them that no, bullying is not only limited to physical. There's emotional bullying, there's physical bullying, there's sexual bullying. Any type of bullying is still bullying. And you have a right, you have a voice, you can speak up. If you're too afraid to go speak up to the teachers, you can come to us as Kalamba leaders and we will talk to the teachers for you.
Beautiful. And what you are doing is you are creating a safe environment for young people to learn in and feel safe. But I think, let me pause on bullying there. You mentioned that there are different forms of bullying. And I think these two leaders know very well about bullying as well. In your school, you guys did some campaigns around it. But I think if we look at social media, on a daily basis, what we see is somebody posting about somebody being bullied at the school and the impact of that, right? Yes. So it's for me very interesting that young people are tackling these issues. Kai, can I go to you? You guys did an anti-bullying campaign. Why is that important for you as young people?
In this anti-bullying campaign, we started this campaign because we know that within teen groups, friend groups, bullying takes place even in classes, during break. So like we are aware, even at our school, bullying takes place in the class, whereas like someone would say something to a learner inappropriate, that hurts a learner emotionally.
Yeah.
And if you are being hurt emotionally, that can cause you to not go to class, to not go to school. Let's not even like talk about what can happen after that. So which is why we started this anti-bullying campaign, and we reach out to the classes, whereas we spread awareness, and one of Columba's values is awareness. So we went and spread awareness about anti-bullying to these classes, and I can tell you, after spreading awareness with the pink ribbons as well, bullying has decreased on our school.
Beautiful. And I think what's very interesting for me about the context that you guys are in, I used to work in a youth rehabilitation center in Cape Town, is that normally gangs start in a young age. And where does gangs sometimes stem from? It's bullying in the school space. And it accelerates and grows into exactly that. So I love the fact that you guys addressed that. Godliness, I'm coming to you, right?
Yes.
She spoke about the fact that there is different types of bullying. You guys did a whole campaign on cyberbullying. Tell me why that is important in today's day and age.
Well, looking at today's day and age, a lot of learners, especially amongst the youth, we are mostly on our phones. And so in the school space, when we were doing a anti-bullying campaign, we focused on cyberbullying because we actually had a crisis at school whereby there was something called Shade Room created, whereby people were being posted and someone who was anonymous was saying mean things about them. And so we tried to tackle this problem by partnering with the Loate police station to maybe get resources from IT specialists to find out how we can stop the account, or how we can maybe find out who the person is and have them stop the account, and maybe find out why they are doing what they are doing. And so we actually had an awareness campaign, an assembly awareness, whereby we had police officers and other law enforcers come to the school to actually let learners know that bullying is actually in fact a crime, and that if they continue doing it, they can end up in juvenile jail. And so it proved to be impactful because the account was then deleted. We never really dealt with face-to-face bullying at our school, so it was mostly cyberbullying, and so the account was deleted. And after that, we had a self-love campaign, which was a campaign to let learners know that they must love themselves, because we realized that there were learners who were affected by the Shade Room. And so we created a campaign where each learner or each class in the school will create a poster that represents self-love, a poster that represents what self-love is. And with that, we were able to eliminate a sense of humiliation within the learners.
So beautiful what young people are doing to create a safe school environment. I love it. You guys are tackling relevant issues that is affecting young people right now.
We did several projects, and like the anti-bullying campaign, the bite of kindness, and on Mandela Day we served soup.
And we also help with the bullying on school, because the bullying was before a very big problem, because we had our younger learners, grade 8, who struggled with coming up to the principal, to someone trustworthy, and spoke about how they have been bullied. And I think that was a good campaign for us, because people became more active in supporting one another, and the bullying became less and less and less.
The Columba leaders at our school, they make a huge difference in the culture of Excelsior. Leading by example, leading with integrity, living the values of Columba and the values of the WCED.
We did a project called Bite of Kindness. The purpose for Bite of Kindness is people goes to the day clinic in Cape Town, whereas they wait for hours in the line just to get medical assistance. Who knows, did they have something to eat before they came to the clinic? Who knows, that they are expected to take medication, but do they have the food before taking the medication? Which is why the Bite of Kindness project did contribute sandwiches and juice to the patients waiting in the lines to get medical assistance as a way of spreading kindness.
One of the other projects that we did was an outreach to Delft Clinic. Delft, as you know, very poor community. Myself and some of the learners, I put them all in my small car and we went through, and they were so excited. We handed out soup and cool drink, and we also handed out some sandwiches. I didn't realize, I'm going to be honest with you, because you live on a different side, how these people actually need this. But I was in the background, and just to see how much, I call them my children, how they went out into this Delft clinic, and how some of the people that were laying there, they could even lift their heads, and that for me was a sign of hope. The other one was the act of kindness. I believe that everything you do is about kindness. It's one of the initiatives that the learners came with. They said, Miss, if we are kind, then other people will be kind to us.
The projects I did was the Bakabari campaign. The Bakabari was basically where we supported those in need on school by providing the essential necessities for them, like toiletries, school clothes, food, water, the basic needs that we all need to survive.
The reason why the anti-littering project was important to me is because of the amount of impact it had. It was a bit of challenging whilst doing outreach. There were times where I was scared to talk in front of everyone, but it also helped me boost my confidence and being able to talk in front of big crowds.
We could really see the impact it had on teachers and as learners. They felt seen, appreciated and valued.
As we know, we're surrounded by gangsterism, and it's very good to see that some of our leaders still want to have good role models. Many of the learners, I can still see the respect, the fact that we also showed kindness to them, that they showed respect. You know, gangsters, they checked out, but they know that these learners with their Columba t-shirts, they could recognize us. So we were also aware of our surroundings, knowing that we're going into the lion's den, basically, but that they received us with kindness. And when I walk past these boys or some of my other learners of Columba, they would treat us differently. You know, we're not the enemy. We actually want to do good.
The reason for doing this is because we are aware of the situations around the school, situations within the communities in the law. That way we spread awareness, and also for them to be aware of the school. That way they can help protect the school during school holidays, you know. That way they can support the school with fundraisers, uplift the schools in many ways that they can.
I like the fact, the ripple effect, that it's not just at the schooling community, because we know that the school itself in this community, it reaches out far, because, I mean, some of the learners come to school because they don't even have food to eat. But the fact that we could do this after school or before school, that shows the commitment of our learners. And I'm in awe of that.
So Kai, you guys did some beautiful things out in the communities there in Cape Town, right? But I think I want to zoom into this question. You know, one of the biggest crises in health, especially public health, is the fact that people are sitting in such long queues waiting for service, right? So you guys did this kindness project where you went to the communities. Tell us a bit about that project and why it was important for you guys to go and serve people at the local clinic.
Okay, so we did a Bite of Kindness project, whereas the Columba leaders reached out to the Delft clinic. So Delft basically has like socioeconomic issues, you know, like smash and grab on the main roads. They have like poverty, unemployment, gangsterism, and substance abuse, all these socioeconomic issues.
Yeah.
So as Columba leaders, we've reached out then to the clinic, and we've went and shared shared. We gave out like sandwiches and juice to the people waiting in the
clothing, either being kitchen supplies or anything that could be useful. We donate them to orphanages or give them to students who may be in need.
And I must say, Image BALOYI shows that. You show it in your clothing drive, you show love, in your reassuring repeaters, where when young people fail a grade, you guys call them, you show them love. And because of that, we could see what happened to your president, right? You went from failing one grade to actually now being top 5 in physics. It is so beautiful when you are giving love. You guys also give food parcels to so many young people who don't have food at their homes. You frequently give them those food parcels, especially over school holiday period where there's no feeding scheme. And I really love the fact that love is being spread in a way that you said. Columba is about
love,
being empathic and giving back to people. But I think you also said something so interesting for me. This is going to be one of my mentees, meaning you are already mentoring the next generation of leaders, right?
Yes, I am.
And Asanda, I think you guys started a junior leadership group also to mentor leaders so that when you guys leave your school, you leave a legacy, right? You guys had a massive Boys Matter campaign in your community. Can you tell the audience a bit about that project, why it was important, and how you went about it?
Well, Boys Matter, hence the name, we like to be very specific when naming these campaigns. It was a campaign that was targeted at informing boys and validating their emotions. So we realized that as a school, we had been paying more attention to girls more than boys. And so Mr. Rakau, who is the founder of the campaign, came to us as Columba leaders and pitched an idea to us. And as Columba leaders, we also pitched in and decided to have a march, a friendly protest, or rather. And I created some artwork that represented brotherhood, happiness, just essentially Boys Matter.
Yes.
And so in that march, we actually went around the community chanting the song that Mr. Rakau had created, and we got support from the police force where they had been escorting us, and we had ambulances as well in case of emergencies, because it was a very long walk, because we really wanted to make sure that the whole community knows that boys matter. And then as for the girls, on that day we weren't a part of the march, but we had our own little intimate gathering, and we had speakers inform us about how we should handle conflict, maybe with boys, how we should approach matters where we feel like things are not equal. And this actually created a sense of equality, because we went around the community, and the march actually ignited some interest within the community, and they were actually joining the march, chanting along, Boys Meta, Iyo, Mujita, Vetu, brotherhood and love and peace and happiness. Yes, so that was the chant, and we got the community involved in that way, and it proved to be effective because we had a substance abuse crisis at our schools, and we realized that most learners who were using substances were boys, and that's when we actually realized that we're paying more attention to girls in the school. So we wanted to find the root cause of the problem by letting them know that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay that you are seeking help as a man, and to dismantle societal rules that have been placed upon them.
We can't skip the girls, man. You know, ladies, we are the most here on this platform. So you guys also did a campaign called I Menstruate. And why was that important?
Well, the campaign I Menstruate was important because it informed both boys and girls about the female body. As a girl, I am not going to lie and say that before the campaign, I knew exactly what was going on with me when I was on my cycle. And so the I Menstruate campaign raised awareness to me, and as well as other learners, I would imagine, because we had qualified gynecologists come and address us, and we had asked them questions about what was going on with our bodies. And I think the most important thing that I grabbed from that day was that we did not exclude boys. And that actually created something. When we give toiletries to boys and girls at school, we used to take out pads when we give them to boys, but now we actually give them with pads. And we tell them, go give your sister, go give anyone in need, go give someone who might need them. And this actually makes it comfortable for us as girls to not be embarrassed about our own bodies, and boys are actually more open to learning.
One of the projects that is actually close to my heart, it's a borehole, because it's a long-term project.
The reason why we implemented the project of Jojo tanks, it is because we wanted to distribute water to our community in Velocom, as it is the biggest problem that we have. So we donate water to the community. If ever we don't have water in the area, the people in the community come to our school, then they get water, and also the creches, so that they can keep on their daily basis.
So the borehole made sure that our school do not come out early, and then our teaching and learning actually proceed as normal. That will make us achieve more results or even marks. Also, the borehole does not just help our school, also the community that is surrounding, they are able to come and collect water. So it's not just for us, but for a community at large.
The water is also important for our school because we can carry on our academics.
Reading is important. That's why we started the library project. So the library project, we basically cleaned the library. It was like a book dump. It was very unusable and dirty. We cleaned the library to make it usable for kids, and also we have a ticket system for distribution of books.
Through the leaders and the principal, they managed to convince the school SGB to buy the library system to the value of 30,000, where that system will develop the library stickers for the books to be able to scan in and out, to take stock of the library.
The Virginia All Schools Festival, it's a festival that was organized, or an idea that was said by THOTAGAUTA School, whereby it's a place whereby all Columbus schools in Free State, we all meet there, and it's where we share our values, share some of the problems that we have and solve them as leaders, and talk and see how each school is influencing their community. And
I think learning from others is part of the journey. So can we organize a festival where we invite other Columbus schools in the district? And then we went out there on the 17th of May, where all the Columbus schools in the Lejwele-Putswa district were invited by THOTAGAUTA.
We have been working on this project of feeding scheme, the issue of bullying and uniform keeping. We guide the learners that we encourage them to keep the proper school uniform. Some learners, we get to notice the learners which don't have the school uniforms, and then we help them.
We've been recruiting grade 7s from 6 primary schools in Welkom, Tabong actually. And it has been nice because recruiting learners to come to THOTAGAUTA next year to be our grade 8 learners, it has shown them that THOTAGAUTA is a very good school.
The motivation that I will give to other schools is that they should start thinking out of the box and things for the communities.
I want you to picture a school where young people decide, schools, all the high schools in this area, we're going to call them together and we're going to speak about leadership and values. a school that gives water to creches, a school that gives water to community members when there's no water, a school that has festivals and then decides community members should come and have stalls there so that they can make an income. And so from as young as crèche up until adults, this is what THOTAGAUTA has been doing. And I think that's amazing. Let's give them a round of applause. But I want to know, Kia, why did you guys feel that it's important for you guys to speak and spread values and leadership in primary schools, in high schools, and all over in Welkom area? Why is it important?
Well, like you said, it started at the crèche to the leaders and to the adults. It was important because we weren't only sharing the values, but then we were also sharing the culture of THOTAGAUTA. So we didn't want to act selfish or be selfish to keep the values and everything that we've been learning since Columba has been a part of THOTAGAUTA. And sharing those values and sharing the culture of THOTAGAUTA was to show people, to teach people that there is one today that is happening and they have to be aware of it. And that THOTAGAUTA is offering service to the communities, to the babies, young leaders, in fact, yeah.
So you brought, like, I think 5 high schools in Welkom together to have an all-school festival about leadership and values. Why was that important?
And it was important because we wanted to know what other Kalumba leaders are doing out there. We wanted to learn other new things and experience what is it they're doing. For an example, from other schools, they were facing challenges, same across to us.
Yeah.
But then we learned that as a team, when you're facing challenges, you don't give up. You pick yourself up, chin up, and do the right things. So at the festival, it was in Virginia. It was actually kind of nice. It was a lot of people. We learned that leaders are going through a lot, and no matter what they're doing, all we have to do is just to have fun and learn. And it's actually what has been happening for, I could say, for years now. Because when we were there, we met other grade 12 leaders. We shared our values, we shared our projects, we shared our teamwork. And we learned from other leaders that, as a leader, you come across this and you will need your team to help you and hold you, to support one another. And in that, I would just say that it was a nice,
Beautiful.
yes.
It's important that as leaders, we learn from each other. We grow together. And that is what I loved about you guys, that you reached out there and you learned from others. Beautiful. And leaders know about learning and sharing. We learn, we share, we become better together, right? Okay, we're going to zoom in back into THOTAGAUTA, right?
Okay.
So what is it that you guys did in your school, in terms of projects that you were doing in your school that helped your school to become a better place?
I'll quote out the Bold project and the gardening project, and also the recruiting of grade 8 learners to come to our THOTAGAUTA Secondary School. Changes that happened, firstly, is from the borehole. It's still okay. It's still functioning. We changed it a lot, and ever since the school has been suffering with water supply, they've been closing waters. So when the waters are not at school, the school will go off early, maybe at 10 or during break time. So the bowl would help the school to go, to function for maybe a longer period of time before maybe the school closes or ends, the period of end closes. Yes. So with the community also, it was involved because when there wasn't water, the community will go to the school and get water from the boreholes. Also not the community, but also the learners at school. With the grade 9, grade 8 learners, we started going to grade 7 primary schools, recruiting them to come to THOTAGAUTA, to come and join us at THOTAGAUTA. So we have this thing called grade 8 orientation. We do it each and every year with grade 8. They get to learn everything about THOTAGAUTA. They get to have experiences about THOTAGAUTA, and we get to engage with them, talk with them, and teach them what is it that we do at THOTAGAUTA and what is THOTAGAUTA. Yes.
Beautiful. Water supply is a big issue in your area.
Yeah.
And with the fact that you guys have now a functioning borehole or JoJo tanks, school can continue even if there's no water.
Yeah.
So guys are impacting education. You are impacting the kind of learners that are coming into your school by doing the kind of things that you are doing. Beautiful. I love the story. And specifically because there is so much community outreach in the type of work that you're doing.
We were given an assignment to work with our learners in transforming our school and the community at large.
They can assist the school in many projects.
I would like to say we have worked very hard throughout the year to try and address social economic issues.
The projects that we did that really stood out to me was the mental wellness program. In the projects, we invited a few guest speakers, mostly psychological people in the field who evaluated the mental health of the learners. I really think that this project benefited our scholars because a lot of burden was taken down off their shoulders, and a mentally free person is an academically free person.
My highlights was when the learners do the service to the community. There were floods. There was a tornado at Utongas. Then our learners collected clothes, old clothes, asked for donations from people, and then we were part of people that were giving assistance to Utongas.
We know that a lot of people were disturbed by the floods. We asked our learners here at school to donate clothes that they are no longer using. So those clothes, we took them and then we washed them ourselves. The labor, we did it ourselves. We also bought the soap ourselves and we did it here. We came here and decided that we'd come to school and wash the clothes.
All of them, they came here on Saturday. They washed all those clothes. I'm talking about clothes which are more than 1,000 because it was from everyone here at school. They wash those clothes, they pack them nicely.
So we have projects that we did to try and address poverty. We had fundraising events to try and buy uniforms for those who are in need. We had fundraising events for metric dance to accommodate those who can't afford for metric dance. And we also gave learners opportunity to enter our competitions so that we can be able to promote a good education system despite the lack of resources.
They did a fundraise where they organized a Valentine's, Miss Valentine's. It was a Valentine thing, but so then they raised money where they bought shoes, the whole school uniform for about, I think it was 20 learners.
We went to GEM, which is the school uniform shop, whereby we bought jerseys, trousers, school shoes for all the learners whom are needy. I personally think that it is good for the students who get new uniforms, because I think it will positively make them feel valued.
They've assisted us in terms of monitoring our blogs.
The other programs we implemented as the leadership of the school were junior block management teams. This is where class reps in the classes assumed roles and the RCL assumed roles to manage the school, to manage the classes and manage the movement of the school.
They've mentored young leaders from grade 8, whereby they were able to recognize and develop those leaders from grade 8.
We also had a grade 8 orientation science expo where the learners contributed. The grade 8 learners were compelled to contribute about R2 per learner, and then if you wanted to participate in the science expo, you had to pay an additional R5 on top of the R2, of which helped a lot because we were trying to fundraise for the grade 12 2025 matric dance. The sum of this fundraiser contributed to the sum of the 10,000 rands we contributed as the RCL to fundraise for the grade 12 matric dams.
We were able to help our fellow learners last 2025 matriculants, whereby we did a lot of fundraising events and we were able to raise about over 10K and 10,000 and contribute on their matric dams, which when we saw the results, we were very happy and excited for them.
Asanda, I'm gonna just zoom into, we just had a look at your video, right? And I think I was touched by one particular project. Last year on the TV nationally, we could see that, you know, the floods was devastating in KZN. And you guys had decided that you were gonna do a clothing drive for people who were affected by floods. Why was that so important for you as leaders? And how did you go about doing that project?
I think we think that it's important to address the poverty rate at 37.9% in South Africa of people who are struggling to provide for their needs. So we took an initiative to open the floor for every learner of SITHENGILE Secondary School to help us as leaders, to help us address the issue of poverty and also the devastating events of floods that took place in 2025. So the initiative was we're going to collect clothes from the SITHENGILE learners, and I would like to say the result from the collection of clothes was perfect. We received clothes in good condition. And we wanted to pass the clothes to those people who were affected by floods in greater condition. Yes. So we came up with an idea of let us come as leaders, let us come together and wash these clothes to ensure that they arrive at a greater condition. So as SITHENGILE learners, as SITHENGILE leaders, we work towards addressing the socio-economic issues in a community. It's our vision to address them nationally, but because of limited resources, we are unable. We came up with an idea. The initial idea was transporting the clothes to Umtata, which is the most affected area by the floods event. And then we came up with another idea of taking the clothes and working with the non-profit organization, the local non-profit organization that goes by the name St. Clements. They do have a data of people who were affected by floods within the community, and also they do have a data on people who really need clothes. So we worked and we formed partnership with a local organization, which is St. Clements. We assisted more than 51 people.
Wow.
So it is a really important project to kind of give back to the community, as we all know that savers, if you are a leader, please pack savers with you everywhere you go. So yeah, it's basically knowing that and understanding the purpose of savers, and also understanding giving back to the community. That's when we came up with an idea that we need to open the doors for everyone to come and donate clothes, and then as the junior leadership team of the school, we're going to wash them. And I would like to send the compliments to the people who donated, SITHENGILE learners who donated clothes. The clothes were in good condition, but we had to ensure that the clothes are in greater condition. We washed the clothes by hand, and it was a real taste of perseverance, because we sacrificed 3 days being in the school. It was Saturday, it was Sunday, and also it was Monday. We were able to wash more than 1,000 clothes for people who were affected by the flood. And also it was more of a team discovery, because we were able to work with the local organization, which is St. Clements. And one thing about us, we work with organizations that are driven by the same code, which is making our community a better place to be. And then we work with St. Clements. St. Clements, it's the local organization that aims to address poverty as well. So they did have a data based on people who were affected by floods within the community, and also people who are in need with clothes. So after the donation of clothes, we washed the clothes.
Beautiful. You speak about social contribution. You guys, as the junior leadership group, you guys did some fundraising, the Vintage Day, the Valentine's Day. You did a lot of fundraising, right? So you don't have to go into exactly all of those events. But there were two significant things that you did with the money there, right? First, you provided school uniform for, you said about
26 learners.
26 learners. And you also raised more than 10,000. Guys, I think young people must start raising money for me also. You raised more than 10,000 rand towards the matric farewell. Please tell us about those two projects. Why were they important for you as leaders, and what was the impact of those projects?
Okay, so as you have seen the video, our school is located at the very bad area because we see poverty every day. So every day when you open our eyes, we see poverty. So every solution that we came up was to address it. So fundraising money for matric dance, we understand that we are faced with the issue of poverty, but also we should celebrate people who were able to endure more than 12 years of being in an education system. Because the reality is our education system is poor. So we were aiming to say, regardless of the poorness of the education system, we need to celebrate the achievements of our grade 12s. So we did a fundraising event in February. I would like to say it was not specifically celebrating Valentine's Day. It was not celebrating Valentine's Day. The dates just corresponded. So on the day, we do not relate, but on the day, so on the day, the project is Love is in the Air. So when you listen and look at the title permanently, you can see that we were spreading love. We were trying to explain to people that love is in the air. You understand? Because yes, because the project was the project of uniform, school uniforms donation was mentored by it, was funded by the project Love is in the Air. So we were able to collaborate with Jim through the VCs. So the VCs help us to collaborate with Jim and also communicate with them, doing quotations on the total amounts that we need to pay. And our first challenge is that we were able, on the Valentine's Day, we were able to fundraise 5,330 rand, and the quotation came back saying they need 5,550 rand.
Wow.
So they needed more. And I would like to send my compliments to the former learner of our school, because she came at the right time. She was an angel. She donated 2,000 towards our project. So when she donated 2,000 towards our project, we communicated with Jim. We said, Jim, this is for charity purposes. And then Jim said, say less. They donated 11 school shoes. So we were able to build that partnership between us and Jim, because our aim is to gain partnership with local organizations so that we can make our community a better place to be. And also, at the St. Clements, they gave us 5 food parcels that we gave to learners who are disadvantaged. And we were able to get 11 school shoes from Jim, with additional of the uniforms, which is girls' shirts, girls' skirts, boys' trousers, boys' shirts, and also school shoes. So it was a really huge amount of money. And then we managed to do it with the assistant of the structure of the school. So it's basically giving back to the community and showing businesses, huge businesses, that it is possible. Social responsibilities, you can do social responsibilities.
Beautiful. And I love the fact that you said, let's celebrate milestones.
Yeah.
We leave a legacy where we are, and let's celebrate milestones. You guys also did a brilliant project around the junior leadership being prepared to be block managers, and that helps with discipline in the school, it helps with education to continue and peer education, right? But I want to end, because I know we are well over our time. I want to end with me asking each of you, in one sentence, what legacy would you love to leave in your school? If you are no longer there, what should they say about godliness? What should they say about Kia? What is the legacy that you guys are leaving in your school? Can we start here with you and we go that way?
Okay. Well, the legacy I want to leave at my school, I think that I would want to leave them with a vision, which I define as a picture of tomorrow that drives you into action. So I would leave them with a vision of wanting to succeed in the future, of seeing BALOYI being on a pedestal, of seeing BALOYI excelling in academics, sports, extracurricular, and all that we want to achieve. And that will all come only if we have a vision. So I hope that I instill that in the students at my school and in the principal.
Thank you. Kai?
A vision I would like to leave behind when I leave Excelsior is a value-based driven school, where the learners on the school can be active leaders, not just active, but proactive leaders, on the school and within the community, because like I've mentioned, youth leadership matters, So for the young learners on the school, even the teachers and the staff, be value driven, be active and proactive.
Beautiful.
Mine is be different.
Yes.
Make different choices. Don't be afraid to stand out just because of stereotypes. If you believe in something, go for it, even if it is different from what others believe in. I do believe that is the value that I want to leave behind in my school, to be authentically yourself, to advocate for what you believe in, to be a true leader regardless of what people say. So make a difference and be different.
Beautiful. The legacy that I want to leave at my school is that understanding the true definition of what is a leader. Understanding that leadership is all about service, leadership is all about implementing perseverance, and also understanding that it's good to collaborate, and also the network is the best. You need to look for information. You need to collaborate with senior management of the school. You need to be able to work with people. Teamwork is really important, and I want to emphasize that teamwork really pays off. Hard work really pays off. So if you invest more time in making your school a better place to be, the credits will come. Beautiful.
The legacy that I would want to leave at my school is hope. I want our young leaders to have hope and to believe in themselves and dream big. Because once you believe in yourself, dreams are always gonna come. And once you believe in yourself, you're gonna always want to do more, change the world, see and make a huge difference. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. From young voices, the legacy that they are living already and going to live in their school. We are excited to see what young people can continue doing in their schools, in their communities, and even in their personal lives. And so, young people, it was an honor sitting on this panel with you. And I know that you guys are going in great heights. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And let's give it up for our young leaders.